I'm Nora, and I'm here to talk to you about the Nissan Leaf. This is the 2011 model, and my family has owned this particular vehicle since March 2011. Over that time, the last couple of years, we've racked up 48,000 miles, so you know we like to drive it. Let's start by looking at the exterior and getting an overall first impression. So the exterior looks pretty much like any other standard car, given for a few unique features, one of them being the headlights, which people either love or hate. Leave it up to you. The other thing you can see is the smaller windows towards the rear, which is generally following the trends of cars nowadays. But overall, this looks like any other vehicle on the road, has the same gadgets, functions, and buttons, can do pretty much anything your car can do now. You wouldn't even know it was an electric vehicle unless you pull up next to me and I beat you at the red light. So if we look at the back of the vehicle, you can see the back lights, the rear lights going up the two sides of the trunk. You can also see a small solar panel here which charges the auxiliary battery for things like your radio and lights, for those of us that don't know. The other important feature is the small rear view camera, amazingly helpful when reversing and an extra tool. So let's open the trunk and see what's inside. As you can see, pretty adequate trunk space. This is actually the charging unit. In the newer models, this has been moved to the front of the vehicle, so you have more space in the back, which is kind of nice. This is an emergency charger for all of us newbies that get stuck, just in case it's a 110. So what happens when you need to charge your vehicle? Pretty simple and very straightforward. Make sure your car is in park, you turn it off. For the Nissan Leaf, you come right here, pop your port lid, charging port lid. It's pretty much the same as opening your fuel tank. Then you make sure you push this off button just in case your car is on a timer. You want to make sure you're still able to charge on a standard charger. Don't worry if it gets complicated, it's not. Come to the front. These are your charging ports. You generally have two on the Nissan Leaf. This one right here, the smaller one, is your standard charger. Every charger, whether at your workplace or at your home, is going to look pretty much like this. All you have to do, come in and plug it in. When you hear that click and the beeping, you know it's charging. On the Nissan Leaf, you have 3 blue indicator lights that tell you what's happening. If it's blinking like that, it means it's charging. If all 3 are lit up, you're full and ready to go. So the other port on here is the quick charger. Pretty much the best thing ever. If you're fortunate to have one of these around, you probably won't have one at your house, but out in the community, they're pretty mammoth and they look like this. The quick charger, don't worry, it took me a second to get this right also, plugs in pretty much the same, but you have to click it in. A quick charger like this is a direct charge, and it will charge your car in about 30 minutes. So you can go get a cup of coffee and be fully charged. The regular charger takes about 6 to 7 hours from empty to full. All right, let's see how roomy this vehicle is in the back. It's a 3-seater, so it can sit 3 people pretty comfortably. I'm 5'8", and you can see I have pretty good amount of leg room and can ride fairly comfortably. This seat is also far back because I was driving it just a second ago. So let's look under the hood, an important component for many people. Just pop the hood like any other vehicle. Basically, the only difference between an electric vehicle and a regular vehicle is the engine. So this is what the 2011 model Nissan Leaf looks like. You still have the old battery, which is a funny comparison considering it's so high-tech. And this is, on this model, what the inverter looks like. On newer models, this is basically just a box. But they wanted to make it look like a regular car engine. You have all the regular fluids for your windshield wipers, but you don't have things like oil because in an electric vehicle, you don't need to change your oil. So now we're going to take it for a little drive so you can see how the Nissan Leaf rides. Don't judge my driving skills. First things first, buckle up. It's a push start. Display opens up. Your parking brake is here in the middle console. All important rear view mirror to help you out. And rear view camera. Yeah, I misspoke. I won't torture you with my music selection, but overall you can see it's very quiet. You have two displays on the Nissan Leaf. The top one shows you your speed. This one shows you all of the other information on the vehicle. So we're actually turning onto a State Road 16 with a higher speed limit, so you can see some of the acceleration.
So the Leaf has a 24 kilowatt battery pack, which gets approximately around 85 to 90 miles at highway speeds, which we are saying is 57 miles per hour. The only criticism we might have is the basic warranty is not that great. Currently, it only covers up to 36,000 miles or 3 years. And ideally, it should be at least covering to 60 months or 60,000 miles, or at least as long as the battery warranty, if possible. One suggestion for improvement might be to spiff up the interior design. The Leaf's turning radius of 17 feet is standard.
So on your central console, you have your driving shifts, basically stick to shift your gears. And it's a little bit different, and that's almost like a little dongle. So park is the button in the middle. That's how you get to park. Otherwise, you just follow directions. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a smooth and safe drive into the future with electric cars.